Tonight, we're tearing the log splitter apart. All right, guys, tonight we got a special guest. We don't get to see him in the shop very much anymore because he's getting owed. Right, Dad?
Been out of commission.
Yep, Dad's been out of commission as well. We just took him up to Philly yesterday, and he had a tube pulled up out of his kidney. If you guys want to see that, I'll throw a little clip in. If you don't want to see it, close your eyes. Here it comes right now. Oh, it's actually sutured in there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the stitches, that's what you see, the thing, there's stitches, I knew that.
Oh. You gotta pee, you gotta pee.
Uh-huh. Well, you got that thing.
Shit. Tonight, this thing looks a little different. We stripped off the lift and we stripped off the tables. Originally, we were going to try to sell this, but I don't think anybody would want to buy it because it may have split. How many cords of wood, Dad?
At least 1 million.
I don't know about that many, but it has split quite a few hundreds, maybe even quite a few thousands of cords. I think Dad will agree on the thousands because he's been here for about he's been here for a lot of those cords. So yeah, with the help of him, you know, you can split a little more wood. Right now, I'm going to set my cell phone up with a timer. We're going to start this thing up. We're going to run it out and back to get a base time. We may do it 1 or 2 times to see what the cycle time is currently with the old pump and the old motor on it. Thanks to, and I don't like mentioning people's names, but in this case I will. Thanks to Johnny Penel, I did a tree job for him. He paid me for the tree job and then said, hey, I got this 16 horsepower motor. You know, I know you do a lot of projects. Can you use that? I said, oh my dear, I sure can. So we are gonna retrofit that splitter with this motor. Thank you, Johnny Penel. If you're still watching my videos, probably not, they're boring videos anyway, but if you're still watching, thank you. The one thing I'm not sure about, everything about that motor is wrong for this machine. If I set it up that the pump goes out the front, I have to start it pulling it here, and I don't have the room for it. If I put the pump in towards the frame, I don't have enough room because the frame is even with where the pump would be. If I set the pump this way, it just, nothing about it's going to work. So I'm not sure if I'm going to weld some steel onto that and extend that out so I can put the motor in that way, the hydraulic pump rather. Tim, I know you're out there in Arizona watching going, that's not a motor, that's an engine. Engines run on gas, motors run on electricity. My nomenclature goes with the flow. This is a one-take thing. And yeah, if I say the wrong thing, Tim, I apologize. So right now, we're gonna set the cell phone up, run this thing out and back a couple times, get a baseline on the cycle time, and then I do have the parts on order. I have the pump, the Lovejoy connectors. I did not order the mounting bracket for the pump until I get the Lovejoys and the pump so I can get a face distance to see how long that coupling has to be to connect the motor to the pump. If that made sense, if it didn't, go to Surplus Center, check out their website. They got all kinds of pumps, couplers, brackets, you name it, and it's confusing. But their website is very good. I'm not sponsored by them, but I love their site. So here we go. We're gonna fire this up and do some cycle times. All right, guys, I don't know if you can see that. Lap 1 was 25 seconds. Lap 2 was 35 seconds, but I was a little slow on hitting the lever. Lap 3 was 27 seconds, and lap 4 was 26 seconds, almost 27. So I'm going to call that an average of, we'll say, 26 seconds cycle time. So we're going to start tearing this apart. Pop Gringo hopefully will be my cameraman.
If you need it.
And here we go. All right, guys, here's what we got so far. We just disconnected the line coming out of that pump, and we disconnected the line going into the pump and left that drain into my oil pan. I guess when the trunnion broke and I lost all that hydraulic fluid, I don't think I ever filled it back up with hydraulic fluid. So it was, a little low on hydraulic fluid. And the hydraulic fluid did have, I don't know if that's air or Dad thinks it might be water. But yeah, we got the hydraulic fluid drained, and now we're getting ready to pull the bolts out of the motor and pull this motor off. Eventually, we're going to take this whole top side off so we can redo this bracket or whatever we need to do to get that motor mounted on here. And I also thought about making up like a little power pack wagon, making a little wagon, kind of like what I did on my firewood cart. Just get 4 wheels from Harbor Freight and put some kind of knuckle on it so it'll steer, and just mounting that motor with the pump on that trailer, and then having quick connects like you would have on the auxiliaries for a Bobcat, and just have a steel plate where you can just connect those quick connects. So that was a thought process on my part too. That way maybe we could move that motor away from the splitter, put a piece of styrofoam between us and the motor. That way it won't be so loud, because, you know, us older people, our hearing is valuable, right, Dad? So yeah, the hydraulic lines are undone. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the 4 bolts out of the motor that holds it onto this bracket, and we'll pull the motor off. And you guys know how to pull bolts out and pull motors up. So that's our next step. Maybe we'll show you a little bit of it. If not, you'll see it when it's off. All right, guys, we got the 3 bolts that mount this to that, and as you can see, it is loose. So it should just be a matter of lifting it straight up and setting it over there, hopefully. Huh, come right off the Lovejoy.
That's different.
That motor don't weigh anything. All right, let's take a look at what we got down in there. Yeah, that's a Lovejoy connector. I don't even see, there's no rubber. Not unless the rubber fell out, Dad. So that means, oh, I got 3 bolts here. So that must hold the pump, yeah. So you want to hold that, and we'll take those 3 bolts out, and that pump should fall right out, right? Oh, look, that sumbitch didn't even have a Lovejoy. Is that a sign that we used it?
That's a sign that's been abused.
Yeah, when I took it apart, I didn't think I seen a rubber, you know,
A rubber coupler.
yeah. Let me see if it's on the bottom of this. No. We ran the rubber coupling right out of the Lovejoy. Good soul. Shit, I wish I had. That'll work, huh? Can you see? Can you see it?
No.
Can you see the whole thing? Huh? I think I'm just going to pull this over to here, Dad, and let it stand right here. Just got to make sure that the kids don't get around it. I don't think we want this to fall on anybody. That is a solid piece of fucking steel. All right, guys, there you have it. Pop-up gringo, splitter, motor, pump, and the trailer. I think I'm going to go in and we'll throw this video together and we'll just post this. It's going to be a couple days until we get the parts for that. And then even after I get the pump and the Lovejoy connectors, then I have to order the actual bracket that's going to mount the pump to the motor itself. The Lovejoys will just connect it, but it will not hold it together. I'm going to probably tilt this up. We're going to take that filter off. That's a guarantee. Dad says we need to change that filter. It's been on there since new, so that's going to piss me off to change that filter. But Dad, does it need to be changed?
What?
Does that filter need to be changed?
I would say so.
You think so?
It only has 100,000 miles on it.
I think it's good for 200,000. Maybe it has 200,000 on it. Yeah, so that is the original filter. But yeah, this thing came apart fairly easy. And now we just have a bunch of parts sitting everywhere waiting for parts. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. You can watch this thing go back together. And thanks for watching.